Thanks so much for joining us today. So today we have Séverine Wild. He is a foreign sales agent with Pam Golding Properties.
Thanks so much for having me.
Please, let's jump straight into it. So tell us how long you've been on the island, and how did you end up here?
Okay, so I've been on the island for almost 5 years now. Originally with a hospitality background, and got into real estate about 7 years ago. And had the opportunity to come and work for Pam Golding here.
Yeah, awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself. So I know you speak German. You grew up in Cape Town. Let's just give us a little rundown on that.
So originally was born in Germany, but raised in South Africa. So I'm bilingual. I can speak both German and English. And it's made a big difference because there's a huge German market at the moment in Mauritius. So then my in-laws moved here about 5 years ago. My mother's here, so basically the whole family's here. Awesome. Kids were born here, so we've integrated really nicely into Mauritius.
And I know you're the proud father of 2 youngsters.
That's right.
They're both born on the island?
Both born here in Mauritius.
Maybe share a little bit about, it's a question we get a lot, I'm sure you get a hell of a lot as well.
Yeah.
You share a little bit about what that experience was like from a medical point of view, sort of going through that especially for the first time, I'm sure it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, sure. So pleasantly surprised, the medical system is really good here. We were initially quite nervous about it, but you got some really good private hospitals here, it was really an easy pleasant experience.
Awesome.
And then from a schooling perspective, also there's also a lot of international schools here, so you have that support system from the schooling side as well. And then easy. I find living on the island with kids very easygoing. Very relaxed lifestyle. Take the kids to the beach on the weekends, and it's a very, very slow but easy kind of lifestyle for the family.
Yeah, and I would say a lot of young families as well.
Yes, more and more so. When I first moved here,
that was 5 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
5 years ago, everyone was saying there's not a lot of young families on the island, and that's changed. I'd say in the last couple of years, there's a lot more young families that have moved across to Mauritius. A lot of people that are working on the island or working remotely from Mauritius.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And in those 5 years, I think, with COVID and everything that happened, how have you seen both Mauritius and the property market change in that time?
So there's definitely been an increase in demand. When I first arrived, there was always a discussion about there being a slower period and then a peak season.
During the year.
During the year. But I found in the last, I'd say 3 years, that's not the case. It seems to have been busy throughout the year. Yeah. So there's definitely been a shift. Predominantly, it's been a South African French market. But in the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of buyers from the UK, from Germany, Switzerland, Austria, basically from all over Europe, starting to look at the island. So that's definitely
that's good.
Pushed up the demand. Yeah.
Awesome.
And also from a pricing perspective, property there's definitely some significant growth on that too. Some nice capital growth. A lot of my clients are very happy with their appreciation on their properties, it's been good. It's been a very successful year so far.
Awesome. Maybe share a little bit of this sort of. Pam Golding. I think congrats. I think you guys won the Agency of the Year award again.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe touch a bit on what makes you guys unique or special, and a little bit about your sales process or what you actually assist your clients with, because I know it stretches beyond just the sales process.
Exactly. So Pam Golding's been on the island since 2001, I think it is now, and have been the top agency for most of those years, if not all of them. We what sets us apart is that we pick the right location for the client and prioritize locations that we can onsell. So I think our biggest advantage is that when we sell a property to a client, we are able to sell it on quite easily. Yeah. So we focus on selling the right location and not just the property, but also the location is.
And that supports your previous comment of the decent
Exactly.
gains that you guys keep managing to find for your clients.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's a good. I suppose that's why it's been good for the client and been good for you.
Well,
for
exactly.
You as an agency
It goes
too.
both ways, and then often our clients then buy more properties, and we have a lot of clients who've got 5 properties with us, and have remained quite loyal. And and for us, it's more about building a relationship with the clients as well. It's more than just a sale. It's actually the whole process of going through the sales and then also being with the client throughout the whole property journey.
Yeah.
Whether they decide to sell or buy another property. We also assist with the permanent residency. So we're part of it, And also, I find it easy for clients to relate because, we've all gone through the stage of moving from another country.
You've done it yourself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So it's more.
You can
natural.
relate. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. And maybe share with us a little bit of your takes. I know there's always a big northwest debate.
Yes.
Everyone from the west says the west is best, and the guys from the north say it's a place to be.
Yeah.
Share with us a little bit on your take. What your view is on that.
Sure. So yeah. Look, I mean, I love the north for its convenience. I think the north has that convenience aspect. It's got a lot of different restaurants and shops and schools to choose from. It's a bit more of a cosmopolitan kind of lifestyle. But I'd also argue that we've got some of the best beaches. I think you're 2 minutes away from really, really great swimming beaches. And yeah, I think, look, the other parts of the island are also beautiful, so I can't say that they're not. And we often use those parts as almost like a getaway. So we'll spend the weekend, say, on the west coast or the east coast. But yeah, from a lifestyle aspect, certainly from myself and my family, we find the north the easiest place.
The hustle and bustle.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
The big city of Grand Bay. Okay, awesome. Yes. And any projects in the north specifically that you're excited about, or something that you think is let's say one good lifestyle property, sure. Like I said, for a young family looking, that's the goal, and maybe from an investor's point of view, if those 2 categories to a project in each that you find interesting.
Yeah, so we obviously have various options. I mean, I focus a lot on off-plan projects. That's kind of my niche. I found that you see a lot of capital appreciation from buying early on, and then you just from the duration of the build, you can just see the capital growth and the returns on it. I've been involved in a couple of projects. The latest one that we're just launching now is the phase 3 of Le Point. I think from an investment and family aspect, it's in Pointe-à-Canonier, so a really, really good location.
Yeah, I live there.
Yeah, you live there.
I agree. Good location.
Nice and quiet, and yeah, we've just launched that now. So for a young family looking to find something there would be ideal for someone who likes to have access to amenities. You've got paddle courts, you've got the restaurant, you've got the gym. Beaches literally like 2 minutes.
Two beaches.
Yeah, right on the point. So that's my main focus at the moment. I've had a couple of other projects that I've done in the past, the Essence being one of them. That was linked to the hotels. We saw that being quite successful in Mauritius as well, where you have an investment that's more than just an apartment. It's got the resort lifestyle plus access to the beach and access to the hotel. And then, we've got various estates, Montrosy Golf Estate being the largest one in the north. Also great for families because you've got the space and obviously the golf aspect, but it's more than that. It's got all the extra amenities that go along with it. Yeah. So, there's various... We can tailor make the...
Depends on the client's needs.
Exactly. And I think that's also what we, focus on, is that we listen to the clients and then adapt according to what they're looking for. But bearing in mind that we focus on the 5 main locations. Because, like I mentioned, I think location is the most important aspect of it all.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe share 1 or 2 of the developers that you work with in the north that you have had good experiences with, or sure. Guys that you enjoy dealing with?
We work a lot with Two Future developers, which I think
they're one of the biggest.
They're one of the largest. And then also Signature Homes, also one of the biggest developers.
They did Le Point.
They did Le Point. Yeah, they were launching phase 3 of. And then another big one is obviously the Montrosy Group. And then there's smaller boutique developments all around, but we mainly focus with the guys that do
the larger ones.
The larger ones, and also have been in the industry. We're quite selective with who we work with, because it's our reputation also.
Of course,
it's important to put the clients in the right
units.
In the right units, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Seth.
Yeah.
I think for this part of the video, we'll flip the script a bit. Open the floor to you. Any questions mortgage related that you or your clients have, feel free to ask.
Perfect, so it's my turn.
Exactly.
So Michael, often my clients ask, do they have to buy in cash in Mauritius?
Yeah. So no, foreigners can get home loans, mortgages, finance their property, whatever you want to call it. The local banks do have financing options for foreigners. So you can get your residency permit, even though you financed. You can also have a tenant in the property, and you can still apply for your residency permit. So it's very attractive from an investment point of view to get your permanent residency card in Mauritius. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have to buy a resale, or what are the...
Yes, so you're talking about the recent legislation
change. The recent
change.
legislation change,
Yeah,
exactly.
So about a year ago. So previously Mauritius was fairly simple.
Yeah.
Foreigners could finance all properties up to about 70% of the value of the property.
Correct.
No real rules or hoops or anything. In December, the government changed the legislation a little bit. The reason behind it is to encourage a bit more hard currency cash inflow into the country, not just creation of local mortgages. So what they did is they said, okay, when you're buying from a developer, all the different development types, IRS, PDS, smart cities, all these different development types, except G+2, your ground +2. So all of the ones I mentioned previously, if you're buying from a developer, the first $750,000 you have to put in cash. So let's say you're buying a property in one of these schemes I mentioned here, then the property is say worth $1.5 million. You have to put $750,000 down, and the remaining $750,000 you could finance. Looking at a G+2, which is a little bit different, you can finance from $0, you can finance up to 70%. So if you're buying a place for $500,000, you can finance 70% of that from the start. So you don't have to put in a predetermined government amount in. The banks will then look at how much you need to put down from their risk appetite. Also, when buying resales, so if you buy from another person, let's say you buy a property in Mauritius and you want to sell it to me, I can qualify for a mortgage up to 70% of the value, regardless of the value of the property. So just a little bit of a small change to keep in mind.
And then you would put down 30% plus the cost, is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's typically 30% plus costs.
Yes.
These costs, as we both know, are typically your agency fees, or the developer sometimes builds those into the price. So they're not always agency fees.
If they're off plan, yes.
Yeah, if they're off plan, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your notary costs and your bank registration costs. So bank registration costs are typically 1%, but when dealing with our company SMB, then you will only pay 0.5% with the bank, and we will invoice the client 0.5% as well. So still 1%, but split,
Okay.
and then you get our service as well.
Okay, perfect. And what would you say what the current interest rates are? Maybe just for the hard currencies, USD, Euro, MUR.
Yeah, so at the moment you'll get between 5 and 6% in Mauritian rupees, and then in hard currencies it really depends.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on euro, so pound sterling, euros, and US dollars will all be different. But it starts at, I would say, about 6.9, 7%, and then goes up from there. So it is quite a bit more pricey. So what a lot of especially our European clients like to do is they like to finance in rupees, because it's a lower rate, A, and B, it depreciates over the long term, generally speaking, against the euro and the dollar. So not just do you have inflation,
yes,
actually reducing the cost of your mortgage in relative terms, but the mortgage is actually depreciating in value against your currency that you're earning in. So it makes it very attractive, especially because you can get euro or dollar-based rentals in Mauritius too.
Exactly. And then, what is the age limit for mortgages? What would you say the cutoff is?
Good question. It's
Yes.
something that can sometimes be a bit of a problem. So Mauritius cuts it off at age 65.
Yes.
So if you're 55-year-old, you can get a 10-year mortgage and still until the age of 65. A big reason for it is the life insurance policies attached to the back of it. So if you are 60 but you've got quite a bit of life insurance, and not just term insurance, but preferably whole of life insurance, whole of life insurance policies, if you have those in place, you can often get your loan pushed that they're a bit more lenient on that age. If it's a large value too, you can come up with a few plans. There's pledge portfolios and other options. A little bit more complex, but there are things that you can look at. Yeah.
Okay. And you said it doesn't affect the residency, so you can still get a mortgage?
Absolutely.
You can still get the permanent residency.
You can buy a property for, say, 375, so it's $375,000 US.
It's the minimum, yes, yeah.
You can get a 70% mortgage on that. You can have a tenant inside there paying you a monthly rental, and you, your kids, your spouse, and your parents-in-law can all qualify for residency as well. So it's a very flexible residency option compared to other countries.
Yeah. And also I think quite affordable compared to other
it's
countries.
a lot cheaper than especially north of the equator.
Exactly. And then last one, Michael, what about leveraging? Can one leverage against a existing property? Can one leverage against a portfolio? Maybe we could just touch on that a bit.
Yeah, but let's maybe get into the property first. So
yeah.
To me, it's quite an attractive option that not a lot of people know about or aren't aware of. So the banks are very comfortable with taking at least 60% refinancing. So if you bought a property, it's paid for, and you own it outright, you can approach a bank or approach us and we'll help you with the process. Is then you refinance against that property. So you can take 60% of that value. So let's say you bought a property a couple of years ago for 600,000, it's now worth $1 million. You can actually pull out 600,000 in capital again, and you can reinvest that into a new unit. So you could either buy another unit on a slight leverage, or you can buy, say, another apartment or a small villa at 600,000. And you can just keep building with that. Yeah. It's really attractive because then you've got growth on two different assets with a single loan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Brilliant. Anything else?
I think that's all.
Cool.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's always great to have you here.
Likewise, good to see you.